Hello everyone, it's Lisa and Joe doing our YouTube videos again. Despite what our backgrounds look like, Joe, show your background. Oh, we're actually in the office, 6 feet apart, doing these videos. But today we are going to do a slide deck that's about brain games. So we're gonna start. Here we go, brain games. Just quickly do. We quickly do the parts of the brain. So what we're hoping to do is wake up and exercise all of our brain, all of our lobes in our brain. So kind of start with the occipital and move our way around. If ever you have any questions about brains, we do have on our YouTube channel, we have some education, brain health education sessions. Check them out. So this is a good warm up. Just moving it. So you need to name 2 objects for every letter in your first name. Do this every day and try to work up to 5 objects and using different items every time. So my name is Lisa, so I'm going to start and I'm going to say, I'm looking around for clues. I'm going to say lights, because there's lights up on the ceiling, and legs, because I've got legs. So there are my 2 L's. How about you, Joe? Your turn.
I'm going to say jelly for J, and jovial.
Whoa, jovial. That's a good word, Joe. It reminds me of Christmas. So if everyone, if you're watching this, just think of the first letter of your first name and name 2 objects. All right, we're gonna do some more warming up. This one's it's gonna use your brain, but it's also physical. So with your left hand, and for me, I have to figure out my left hand by doing the L, which is crazy, and I am left-handed. You're gonna make a fist with your left hand and raise your thumb. So you're gonna do a thumbs up with your left hand. Then you're gonna lift your right hand up and you're gonna, with your right hand, you're going to extend your pinky finger. So there. So I have a thumbs up with my left and a pinky finger with my right. And I'm gonna count to 3 and we're gonna switch. So when I say 3, you're gonna put your thumb down and your pinky finger out and your pinky finger down and your thumb out. Are you ready, Joe?
Super ready.
If you had to guess, is this gonna be easy or hard? Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Switch. Good job. Well, you did it. You did it. So interestingly enough, I've done this a lot because I've done these brain games. So my brain's gotten used to this. I've trained it up a little bit now. So let's do it again. This time we're going to switch back. So when I count to 3, you're going to switch back. So pinky down, thumb up, thumb down, pinky up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and switch. Oh, that one was harder for me. How'd you do, Joe? I think yeah, it's not as easy as you kind of think it's going to be. All right. Here's a question. So, are the squares inside the blue and yellow squares all the same color? So if you look, are these inside squares, are they all the same color? Look at them. What colors do you think they are?
They look different to me.
So Joe's saying different.
They look different to me.
What colors do they look like to you, Joe?
A red and then a bit more of I would say a maroon.
Yeah, interesting. So they're actually all the same color. It's called the Bezel Effect. So the smaller squares inside the blue and yellow squares are all the same color. They seem different, magenta and orange. So you were close with your colors, Joe. Because a color is perceived differently depending on its relation to adjacent colors. So here the blue and yellow makes the inside square look different. Bezel Effect. Now you've got that. You can flash that around.
Good.
So this one's interesting. Read this sentence to yourself and count the number of times that the letter F appears in the following sentence. So I'm going to give everyone a second to just read that to yourself. So how many did you have? Joe, I know Joe's recounting. How many did you have, Joe? I can see you counting.
3.
3. Joe, can you move our faces so that they can read it? Perfect. So most people say 3. Joe, you're like most people. Why? No, you're actually wrong though.
Oh.
We often don't correctly process the word of, O-F, for 2 reasons. First, the letter F usually makes the sound F, like fox. However, in the word of, it sounds like V. And second, you have probably read the word of so many times in your life that it's processed as one unit, overlooking the second letter or sound. So if you go back and look, finished is 1, files, of years, of scientific study, combined with the experience of years.
Oh. I missed all those O's.
Yeah. Are the horizontal lines straight or crooked in this picture?
Things straight.
So this is called the cafe wall illusion, and the horizontal lines are straight, even though they don't seem straight. So for me, when I look at it, they seem like a little bit wavy. So in this illusion, the vertical zigzags, the vertical zigzag pattern disrupts the horizontal perception. So they are straight. Your brain's just making them tell you, your brain's telling you that they're wavy. It's kind of the same thing. Are the 2 horizontal lines of the same length? So the top horizontal line, so is this line right here and this line right here, are they the same length? It is tricky. Does everyone out there have a guess? So this is the Mueller Lie Illusion. So they are the same, they're the identical length, but with the arrow pointing in, it makes the line look shorter, and with the arrows pointing out like that, it makes it look longer. So I think I'm going to buy a purse that somehow does a triangle in towards me, so I look a little bit thinner, my guess.
Sounds good.
Kind of the same. Are the 2 orange circles the same size? I find this one really hard because my brain really tells me that the one on the left is smaller.
It does look smaller.
That's what my brain tells me.
I would agree.
But the answer is the 2 orange circles are exactly the same size, even though the one on the left seems smaller. This size distortion may be caused by the size of the surrounding circles or by their distance to the center circle. Honestly, even knowing the answer, like knowing they're the same size, the one on the left seems smaller to me.
It does, yes.
Here's a picture. What do people see? What are some things you see in the picture, Joe?
Well, it looks a bit like a tree and hearts, but then I can also see something else.
I see the people down here. There's people like looking at water, and there's some trees over here.
There is also, I see a silhouette of a baby.
Oh, sorry. Absolutely. Good job, Joe. So here, if people look really carefully, I'm at my clicker, my pointer is at the top of the baby's head. And if you come down here, this is the eye and the nose, and here's the mouth. And then if you look, there's little baby arms that come up. Here are the fingers. And if you follow it down a bit, here are the legs and the baby toes. If you look at my pointer here, and then the bum.
Legs and toes are what I thought looked like a heart a little bit.
Oh, you also saw a heart in there. Yeah, good. Anyway, so it's neat. That's an optical illusion. So here's some brain teasers that are aim is to stimulate the connections or association between words in your temporal lobe. So your temporal lobes are on the side, kind of above your ear, and that's where a lot of your language and your words are stored. So your goal, so you'll see a pair of words. So in this case, we see lock and piano, and your goal is to find a third word that is connected or associated with both of these words. Does that make sense, Joe?
Does make sense.
Yeah.
Joining word.
So the first two words are lock and piano.
And piano.
So I'm just going to give you, we have 5 of these to go through, so I'm just going to give everyone a bit of time to guess, and then I'll reveal the answer. So lock and piano, the word they have associated with it is key. So on the piano, you have the keys that you play, and on a lock, you need a key to unlock it. So the next one is tree and car. What would tree and car have in common? All right, give everyone a little bit of time to think about it. The answer is trunk. It's almost like they could have added elephant to that as well. Tree, car, and elephant all would have trunk in common. Next is pillow and court. I found this one a little bit tricky. And when they say court, they mean where a judge and lawyers and criminals would be. So not like a tennis court, but like a court of law. So the answer is case. So a pillowcase and a case that goes to court. So the 2 words now are ship and card. And even though I made this quiz up and I've done it once before, I don't actually know the answer this time. Oh, maybe I do. I remember now. But it happens, right? Can you think of anything, Joe?
I can, yes.
Are you ready? I'm going to reveal, and I'm going to count to 3. You say it out loud. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Deck.
A deck. Good job. So a deck of cards, and on a ship, there's a deck. School and I. And I truly believe there are 2 answers to this on when I reveal. There's 2 answers. So what would a school and I have in common?
Yes.
Loudly, yes, you can guess.
I'm going to guess pupil.
So it is pupil, but they said that they would accept exam or private. Oh, private school, private eye are also possible. Good job. All right, these are common proverbs. So these are just common sayings. They're American. So what I found out when I was researching this is there's American proverbs and European proverbs. Some of these proverbs I actually didn't even, I think maybe I don't know a lot of proverbs. So we're putting it out there and to see if you can remember this. I started with an easy one. The early bird gets the, you can yell it out, Joe.
Worm.
The early bird gets the worm. Good job. After all is blank and done, more is said than blank. After all is said and done, more is said than done. That reminds me of some people, right? Like that one brings, you understand why that one exists, because there are people that are talkers. Not us, no. J Stubbs, maybe no. From blank beginnings come great blank. I might not know this one. Like from great beginnings come great endings, great things. I don't know. Let's find the answer. From small beginnings come great things. That's a good one. Oh, so now we're on to fun trivia. These were just, I wanted trivia that weren't, that just because you studied history, you knew the answers to. I wanted random fun fact trivia. So here we go. Of all vegetables, only two can live to produce their own several growing seasons. All other vegetables must be replanted every year. What are the only two perennial vegetables out there? I'll give you a minute to think about it, and then I might start giving some hints. One, so they both kind of have spring seasons. I'll put that out there. You see them in the spring. Are you thinking of some, Joe? Do you think you know them?
I think I might. One actually you put quite often put in a pie.
Yes. It can be tart though, so you often put it in with strawberry or something a bit sweeter. All right, giving you some time to guess. So the answers are, the only two vegetables that can live to produce on their own for several growing seasons is asparagus and rhubarb. Yeah, both of which, well, rhubarb I've always grown, but both of which, like, I think if you can get them established, are pretty reliable crops. So there are only 3 words in standard English that begin with the letters DW, and they are all common words. Name 2 of them, or 3 of them if you're feeling particularly smart. What do you think, Joe?
Dwell.
Dwell, that's a good one. Giving people time to think about it. So you know one of them is dwell. And I guess dwellings, like that would kind of the same. Yeah. The other 2 both have to do with small, actually. They both have to do with the word small. Dwindle, that's great. Yeah. So you did your 2, excellent. So the 3 English words that begin with DW are dwarf, dwell, and dwindle. So name 6 or more things that you can wear on your feet that begin with the letter S. Give people time to think about it. There's lots though. There is actually a lot more than 6. Think of sports, particularly winter sports. All right, let's see what list I came up with and see if people have some to add. Shoes, socks, sandals, sneakers, slippers, skis, skates, snowshoes, stockings, stilts. That's a good list. I hope people got some of those. All right, this is our final question of the day. And this because it uses a lot. It uses your occipital lobe, it uses your frontal lobe because you have to reason, you have to see things. Which puzzle piece fits into that piece? The missing piece. So that wasn't. So in here, you're going to look at this white outline. You're going to look over at A, B, C, D, and E, and which piece do you think fits in there? I'm going to give you a hint. You have to spin the piece. Like it doesn't just go straight in. So you have to kind of spin it around and see which one might fit. So if you're thinking about it and looking, where's my cursor? There it is. Oh, there it is. So this piece right here, this long kind of rectangle piece is a good clue because the piece pops up and down from the same spot. Yeah. So the answer is C. So piece C fits into there. You can see the long rectangle piece here with a little bit of a shorter piece here. That's piece C. So there's our brains. We've done brain games. We've worked our brain out. It's sweating, but it's wide awake and alert. Anyways, thanks for joining us. Check out our other YouTube videos. We're putting up our programs up. We have education up on our YouTube channel. Yeah, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.